Monday. I am freezing because I don't handle the cold very well. It is not that cold. It's 40 degrees and I'm whining. But I wonder why they turn their headlights off. That's weird. Some random car turning their headlights off. We are headed into the pit. We are going to take this down to the Tesla building. That's not what it's called on the paperwork, and I don't think we're supposed to tell people that. I don't know. It's just really obvious. It's the second face of the building next door, and the building next door is a Tesla building. So, I don't know. It seems pretty obvious, but whatever. We're in Granite Falls. Heading into the pit, we're gonna get some tailings or something. I just know where the pile is. Get on the right channel. To get out of the house. I haven't worked since a week ago. I get kind of stir crazy when I don't work, but 'tis the season. Get on the right channel here. Hope everyone's doing good. I have worked like 6 days, I think, since I got the hydrogen system installed and functioning perfectly. And I had a day last week where I was truck and trailer and I averaged over 6 miles the gallon. So that's pretty cool. I don't have an overall average of what I'm doing yet, but I'm sure I will soon. Okay. This pit's pretty close to town, which is nice because some of them you have to drive really far out of town. We've been in there before, you know. I've taken you guys into most of the pits out here, I think. I've been doing YouTube so long that I forget where I've taken you guys and where I haven't, because I'll think that I haven't taken you guys into a place and then somebody comments, they're like, oh, I saw this, you know, back in 2020, and I'm like, holy mackerel. It's crazy. Okay, so let's get some material.
Good morning.
Funny thing that was said on TikTok recently to me, and I kind of laughed about it, is they said that no one uses W900s to build dump trucks except for everyone here. I mean, there's a lot of T800s. I'm not going to say that there's not, but there's a lot of W900s too. It's just funny. I think it's all, everything, people's opinions are based on what they do regionally, and I don't know. Where is my bike here? Coming in for tailings.
Tailings?
Oh, whatever this stuff is called. I can't remember. I know, I am the problem, always. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
How you're forgiven.
I'm at the right pile. I know the stuff I want. I just don't remember what it's called. Turn the light on, do some paperwork. Could be called called pit run. He didn't correct me, so I don't even know. With this light on. Thank you. I'm probably the last truck unless they spread us out. That's okay. We all get the same amount of loads anyway. Ticket here. Go around. We're gonna go around. I'm gonna go pee, and then we're gonna hit the road. A little too much coffee this morning. Gotta pee first thing. Flip the switch for the drop axle so that it can like get down and get to pressure before I go down the hill. Give it a minute. The problem is that the hill leaving the pit here is kind of steep, and if you don't have your drop axle all the way up to pressure, then it'll skid going down the hill, and that's how you get flat spots on your drop axle tires, and nobody wants that. I don't recognize that truck. It could just be that it's dark and I can't really tell. Okay. Headlights on. If you come into the pit here with your headlights on, one of the loaders will say something to you. Everybody's super cool and chill and nice, but first thing in the morning, if you hit them with the headlights, they're like, oh God, and it's kind of funny. They do get very, very grumpy about it sometimes, but I typically remember to turn them off when I get into the pit. It is 7 a.m. I was a few minutes behind this morning. Not for any good reason, mostly just because I was making breakfast and trying to get out the door and make sure that the kids had everything they needed to get off to school, and yeah, talking to the coffee girl for a couple extra minutes, kind of just remembering that this week is a holiday week, and yeah, wow. The job we're going to, only one truck can dump at a time, and last time I was on it, there was 8 of us, I think. And so what would happen with everybody all bunched up is that there would just be trucks stacked in there like crazy, and yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm probably gonna get down there and there's probably gonna be trucks stacked up. after some dead batteries here. Really need to find a camera system that I could like integrate into the truck, into like the power and a DVR. That would make it so much easier, but I don't know how to do that. I'm sure I could figure it out. But do you remember what I was saying about it being backed up in here? I don't have video of it because cameras were all dead, but when I pulled in, there was 2 trucks waiting to get out. The truck that's directly ahead of me was dumping, and then this truck that's dumping now was waiting. So, yeah, doesn't really matter being 5 or 10 minutes late. It worked out just fine. Yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, but when we were here the other day, we were dumping in this alcove right here, and we were turning around. All of the stuff that's in the road in front of me wasn't there. There's so many different construction companies on this job. You got to really watch what's going on around you, because there's so many different companies and different trades, and you know how that goes when you get so many different trades on one job. It can really affect the safety, because you get plumbers and electricians around. They may not necessarily have any feelings on what it's like, you know, or any information on what it's like to be around heavy equipment, which seems weird, but I don't know. Pull my window down because I can't see anything. Can't see it, but inside this building, it's weird because it's raining in there, but it looks like they have most of the roof on, so I don't know what the heck's going on. And then there's just like a pickup driving around inside the building. I was gonna stop right here and clean my reach on where the material is, because there wasn't any trucks behind me, but there's another truck coming in. I wasn't even the last truck. Oh, heck yeah, Manny, I'm doing that too.
Well,
easier.
It is. I mean, it should be able to hold the weight of an empty truck for sure, because it looks like these are loading docks, right?
Yeah, they are. I'm gonna squeeze past here, Wes.
Okay. Both boxes are down, PTO's off, tailgates are closed and locked, and now we're gonna turn around on the brand new concrete pad. Whoop, whoop. I'm gonna test it out. Make sure they did it right. Good morning, Wes.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good, how about yourself?
Super good. Glad to be at work.
For sure. It's not a guarantee every day, is it? You just gotta kind of scratch around and find one for a couple of days.
Yeah, I've been off for almost a week. The last day I worked was Tuesday, so I don't know. Just glad to be here. Really like getting to know all the other truck drivers. Obviously, like, it's always been that way. But even though you don't work for the same companies, you know, you have coworkers, if that makes sense. See if we can avoid hitting the fence. Oh, yeah. Go us. Crazy. We're coming in here last week, and one of the guys was like trying to be all nostalgic, and he's in his 50s, and he's like, oh, you remember when we first started driving dump truck? To another driver, and he's like, this used to all be farmland, there was nothing out here. And I just got on the radio and I was like, okay, so I'm not young, but I'm not old either, so this was all farmland when I started driving dump truck too, guys. Like, don't be all, oh, when I was young it was all farmland. Like, yeah, dude, when I was young it was all farmland here too. Now we have a gigantic Amazon building and a Tesla building and all these apartments. This egg farm was here for a long time. I don't know what year it was built, but that's different. I mean, it was a building, but it was in the middle of, you know, farmland. They're still raising chickens in there, though. So, yeah, I don't know, this cracks me up. I am one for nostalgia, don't get me wrong, because I'm like, oh, remember this, remember that. And it just cracks me up, these old guys. They're like, I'm so old. I remember when this was all farmland. Dude, this was all farmland 5 years ago, bro. What are you talking about? So, it's funny. Progress. It's fun. Are we slowing down? What are we doing here? This area here in Arlington, it's really blowing up putting in a lot more industrial buildings. There's a lot of construction going on. They're putting in, right by my old house in Smoky Point, they're putting in like 500 single family houses and then another like 1,200 apartments right outside of my old neighborhood. And that's in addition to what's already being built there that we've been working on for the last like 5 or 6 years. And it blows my mind. And I understand that there's like a housing shortage, but I just don't know where all these people come from or where they live now to, like, that's a lot of houses. That's like 1,700 homes in addition to what's already under construction now. That's not even, I'm just talking about the stuff that is permitted or they're working on permits that they're planning to build over the next few years. I'm not even talking about the stuff that's already under construction. So it's mind blowing. I grew up in Linwood, like right near the Alderwood Mall, and we've worked down there a bit and I've talked about it. And when I was a kid, there was so much forest around our neighborhood. Our neighborhood was in between, or our neighborhood was like in the woods basically. And in the time that I lived there, they built apartment complexes around it. And then someone's calling me. I'm gonna come back up to the pit and get another load to go to Seattle. And then I'll be done for the day, which is all good for me. I was really looking forward today, but we get to go down to Seattle, see what it's like down there. I haven't been down there in a couple weeks, so let's go check her out. But anyways, what I was saying, I grew up in a neighborhood that had woods on all sides, and except for one side was like the road, like the main road side, and that also had like the Linwood Water District right there. And in the time that I lived there, apartment complexes popped up on all 3 other sides of our neighborhood. And since then, pretty much all of the woods that I played in as a kid, where we built all of our forts and did all of our like running amok when I was, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, all of that is now apartments and townhomes and things like that. And Arlington now feels a lot like Linwood did when I was a kid, if that makes sense. Because Linwood, it was always like everything was always under construction, and it still kind of is, but I feel like that kind of, it starts and then it goes on for 20 or 30 years. And I feel like Arlington in the last 10, it's really like kick-started all of that. I'm gonna shut you guys down so I don't lose too many batteries, and then we'll get a load of 2 to 4, and I'll click you back on. We'll go down to Seattle, and you guys can come to downtown with me, and we'll go under the convention center together, and it'll be super fun. Okay? Okay. Okay guys, so I got my 2 to 4 and we are ready to head to Seattle. It's a bummer, but it's just how it goes. Rainouts suck. We usually don't have them around here. I mean, I'm not saying they don't happen. I'm just saying like we're usually pretty prepared for them because it rains here a lot. But anyways, you guys, we're gonna head down to Seattle.
Keep with 3/4 miles.
I will get back on here when we get closer to the city and we'll go visit rainy Seattle together. So let's hit the road. Okay guys, we're headed into Seattle. It's just a bunch of buildings under some fog, it looks like today. Drive down, a little bit of traffic, but it's been fine. Get down here, get dumped out, and be home by noon. Easy day. Hopefully I can find something for tomorrow. I haven't found anything yet. Definitely rainy and gloomy. I was hoping for a whole day today, but it is what it is. This time of year, especially with the economy the way it's been, I'm lucky to get any work at all. Hopefully the economy picks up and things get better, but it's been a rough year. Pretty much everybody said the same thing. It's just not the same as it's been in years prior. There's just not as much work available. It's a little more cutthroat. Before they change lanes in front of me. Oh my goodness. Just change lanes all willy-nilly right in front of a truck. No big deal. You have to be on your toes out here on the freeway. There's people driving around that don't even realize their car has mirrors. Kind of just drive wherever they feel like. About going under the convention center. I don't know whose idea this was, but it was a very bad idea. Let's build some buildings right on top of the freeway so that there's no opportunity to widen the freeway whatsoever. I'd be curious what year the convention center was built and how wide the freeway was at that time, if it was the same amount of lanes as it is now, or what. Because the bottleneck on I-5 is right here. This is the problem. So I don't know. City planners and engineers, they're like, oh, it would be cool if you put a building right smack dab on top of the freeway. Every time they do some kind of freeway project in Washington, it's about 20 years past due, and it's also then like 20 years behind. Like, it only helps a tiny bit, it doesn't actually fix anything. Thing is, it's right through here, it's 3 lanes, but that lane over there turns into a carpool lane, so then you have 2 lanes that are open to all traffic. That's ridiculous. I've definitely gotten on to I-5 South off the express lanes and been stuck over there in the carpool lane and made it down past these exits before there was any possibility of getting over, because there was a car that was in the lane of travel and I was trying to change lanes to the right, and every time I sped up they would speed up, and every time I slowed down they would slow down, and it was like a game of chicken. And then finally I think that they caught up to another car in the lane here, and it stopped them from being able to like keep pace with me, and I was able to get in front of them and get over. It's fun. People that drive cars around here, it's pretty fun. Kale started driver's ed like last week, and we had to do a parent meeting over Zoom. And one of the things that he talked about during the meeting was that the longer you drive, the more you learn to anticipate what people are going to do before they do it. Like, you can see things that they do, they give away what their like plan is, and it makes you a better driver. And because he was saying that teenagers have faster reflexes than the oldies like me, but the thing is that people that are, you know, older, not old, but older, are better drivers because they can anticipate what other people are going to do before they do it. And it's very true, because in my career now, like, I can tell you for pretty far off if someone's a bad driver or not. Like, I'm talking about trucks and cars, and you can just kind of tell how they drive, you know, how they maintain their lane and that kind of stuff, whether they're speeding up and slowing down, like what they're doing. And to be honest, a lot of the time the issues out here is, it's not that people are bad drivers if they actually just drove, but the problem is that they're like scrolling on TikTok, or they're on Facebook or whatever, and they're not even looking at the road, they're looking at their phones. Then they like speed up and slow down, they're going like 10 miles an hour under the speed limit, and they're speeding up and slowing down because they're not paying any attention to what they're actually doing. You gotta watch out for the camera. trailers have a tendency to drive around like they're in a race car. They scare me a lot of the time. I'm not saying every single one, I'm just saying a lot of them. And these roads don't really help either. The concrete blocks that we're driving on, basically. Should be in this lane because this lane it's not an exit only lane. There's no reason to be traveling loaded in the second lane over. It is a Mac, you probably can't go much faster. All you Mac guys are going to be in the comments now. Oh, Macs are the best trucks ever built. If you've ever driven one, you would know. I've driven them. I don't like them. They're too slow. This is the worst bump on I-5, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. The only thing that makes that somewhat tolerable is this seat. It used to be so bad that I would brace my hand on the ceiling. The seat won't let me go up that high anymore, like this specific seat. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how they haven't fixed that. They can allow a car that's facing the wrong way, just leave it on the shoulder. Obviously, like, this is my first time down here today. I don't know how long that car's been sitting there facing the wrong way. Right here on the right, this yard right here, back behind all these containers, there used to be a concrete yard there. That was the first place that I ever dumped truck and pup. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and it was concrete. There's our bunker right there ahead. Really easy job just stocking the bunker. Back in there, get dumped off, clean our reach, and get the heck out of here. Go home and park this thing and go back to trying to find work for tomorrow. close to it at all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sell some more so I can come back tomorrow.
Yeah, we could take it. Still not there though.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna clean the reach and then I'm gonna head home. That's about the end of this video. So if you haven't yet, definitely check out FlexiSpot, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.